Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing rainbow multicolors, official weight 247 pounds or 17 stone 9 pounds. His professional record, 15 victories, including 9 knockouts with 3 defeats. From London, England, former British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion, Dereck Chisora. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing Union Jack colors, officially weighing 210 pounds or 15 stone. As a professional, 25 victories, including 23 knockouts with 2 defeats and 2 world titles. From London, England, the former cruiserweight world champion and former heavyweight champion of the world, David Haymaker Haye.
A combination of cheers and boos for both fighters, pretty much what we expected. And keep your eye on both guys now as they come to the center of the ring to hear from Luis Pabon.
Give me a hand. Okay, guys, I give you instruction in the dressing room. They're having a clean match, okay? Good luck, and God bless you.
I don't know if they ever touched gloves. There was a little bit of an effort made there.
Right now, all I can say is I hope we get a fight. I hope they fight toe to toe.
Will the war of words turn into fistic fury? Unified rules of boxing in effect, 10-point must system. 3 judges score the fight. No standing 8 count. No 3 knockdown rule. A boxer cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Scheduled for 10. Chisora out there with the big white gloves and the white trunks. And David Haye with the blue gloves.
I'll say this in the first 15-20 seconds, David Haye is coming out with purpose. And I think, Bruce, one of the reasons he may have wanted to cut from a 12 to a 10, only be 10 rounds, not have to reserve the stamina, and just go for it as soon as he could get him.
And a right hand by Haye as he goes to the body with a little bit of a left hook.
And if you notice, David Haye has on tennis shoes.
I don't know if that's because it was wet and he was worried about getting to the ring, but maybe he wants to just run, Ray.
Very interesting, but he's doing the right things, utilizing that jab, keeping this man at bay.
And there's the jab, ever present, doubling up on the jab. A minute into the fight, Haye has been very active. What a transformation from his last fight against Klitschko.
Oh, my goodness. He's thrown more punches in the first minute of this fight, it seems like, than he did in the entire fight against Vladimir Klitschko. Obviously, a much different level of opponent. But it's good when David Haye is aggressive. That's when he's at his best, it seems to me.
Well, what I see in David Haye, which I've never really seen before, I mean, he's so concentrated. He looks, I mean, he's looking right at his opponent, taking his time, picking his shots, using his height and reach advantage.
One thing that Chisora said in the build-up to this fight was that, you know, he knew that David would try to probably start fast, but for him it was about getting into the rhythm and really taking him apart later in the fight. So it seems to be going the way that both camps sort of thought maybe it would go early on.
And
but Chisora's got a good jab.
Finally, a jab from Chisora. And Ray, when you talk about cutting off the ring, does Chisora have the ring generalship? Does he have the smarts? Does he have the experience to do that to Haye?
Well, he doesn't necessarily have to do that. I think if he uses his left jab a lot more, because he has a very effective left jab, Chisora. Good, strong left jab.
Haye continuing to throw that left hand.
Chisora, I'm sorry, but Chisora's ready to throw a bomb. He's trying to throw bombs right now. It's just too early right now. You have to work your way into that with the left jab.
And Haye can just win the round by being active while Chisora thinks about throwing one punch.
Correct.
Chisora missing badly on a wild right hand, an overhand right. Final seconds of round one.
Very good round for David Haye. Control round.
Chisora missing wildly again. Haye moving extremely well, both offensively and defensively.
That's a good way for him to start this fight, Bruce. That's exactly what David Haye wanted. Get a little bit of confidence going there in the beginning of this fight.
He's loading up. That's good. He's loading up. Yeah. Just tuck up like you are. Tuck. You hearing me? Tuck up. Let him miss. Yeah. Watch that level. That left hook. Time it better. Feint. Then throw it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Haye's 64 punches thrown double his average in a typical round. He didn't land as a higher connect percentage, but he was very active. Clearly was the winner of that round. And you hear Don Charles, his trainer, in his ear. You know, we didn't talk about it, but in the build-up to this fight during their training camp, they had an altercation in the gym, and maybe weren't on the same page getting ready for this fight.
Ray, he threw an average of 24 punches in his last fight against Klitschko. That was 64. What a transformation.
Well, he's apparently very relaxed, very confident.
He's also fighting Dereck Chisora, not Vladimir Klitschko.
No question about that. It's a different competition. But he's still being very effective.
Now Chisora stepping it up a little bit here in the start of the second round. Haye goes back to throwing the jab. Goes to the body with the left hand.
Chisora's looking for that big overhand right. He's hoping to land on Haye's chin. That's the one detriment that he's had in his career. He doesn't take the best shot. Stopped in his loss against Thompson. Carl Thompson as a cruiserweight. Been knocked down by Mormag as a cruiserweight. So his chin is definitely susceptible. Chisora
good
takes a right
combination
shot.
by Haye. Another right hand by Haye. So Ray's not just throwing the jab now.
Well, Haye is really timing. He's starting to time Chisora as he comes in. Chisora is doing the same movements. He steps in, ducks his head. The uppercut or left hook is the key punch for David Haye.
He calls his right hand the haymaker, and that's what he's been working on right now. He's starting to land that shot. That's a shot he didn't throw or land against Klitschko. He claimed because of the toe. Obviously, that's not an issue right now.
Another crisp jab by Haye. Chisora is moving well with his feet, but he's not throwing punches.
He's walking into the punches of David Haye, which makes him lose because David Haye is starting to throw his punches, starting to put punches together.
Haye leads with the right this time. Looking for a right uppercut. Again, Chisora wildly did land the right hand there in the corner.
You saw that looping right hand thrown by Chisora. If there's any punch that was going to land and be effective, that is the punch. It's kind of a looping right hand.
Oh, here we go again with Luis Pabon stepping in every 10 seconds. We had the fight on Epics between Alexander Povetkin and Marco Huck, and Pabon ruined that fight, constantly inserting himself. It's only the second round. He stepped in a number of times already where I don't think it was necessary.
If I was Chisora, I would go to the body. I don't know why he's not given instructions to work the body.
Another crisp jab, and he doubles up this time. This is a much busier David Haye. Chisora lands and then misses wildly with the right again. A little stare from each guy. But Haye looks like he's all business.
There's a right hand thrown by David Haye. And again, David Haye has been very effective with his punches. The left jab for sure was one of the most effective punches. The right hand comes on. Every now and then he goes to the body. I think 2 rounds for David Haye.
I'm with you on that.
In the bank.
Change the angle, twitch him up, make him pay. Now all you got to do is just pick up the levels a little bit of
second. Those are punches thrown in round 2. And although Haye's percentage is way off, way low, Ray, he's still throwing so many more punches, he's got to influence the judges.
And one thing about inactivity, too, is also getting that second win. Because as you go down, as the rounds go by, sometimes it's difficult, unless you have fights ahead of you, it's difficult to get that second win.
I think inactivity leads to inefficiency, and that's why maybe he's missing early as Chisora lands a combination.
Chisora is really picking the pace up. I mean, he's really picking the pace up. He's not throwing punches. He has to put those punches together, both hands.
Chisora has been a slow starter in other fights. And I think maybe he's got to think about the fact that it's only a 10-round fight, not a 12-round fight, and realize that he's going to have to start a little bit sooner because there aren't going to be those 6 rounds in the second half of the fight, only going to be 5 rounds in the second half of the fight.
Nice
Need all the points he can get.
Haye.
And in doing so, he's given up the first 2 rounds.
And you're totally right, Dan. Now if you fall behind 3-zip, you're in some serious trouble. And then you have to think about a knockout even more. And Haye doing a little sidestep and trying to get his opponent all worked up. And Ray, Haye's doing a pretty good job of tying up Chisora in that corner when he's trying to make his presence felt.
Well, he's doing the exact right thing. I mean, again, he's using his jab, ties him up, not let Chisora throw punches. The uppercuts proven to be very effective. In fact, that punch I will continue to throw.
It doesn't do Chisora much good if he's going to just walk to Haye and only throw 1 punch. He's got to throw multiple punches and land some, because right now nothing seems to be working for him.
Well, he has to let those hands go down.
Chisora's being aggressive with his feet coming in, but he's not doing anything with his hands. Hence, no punches being thrown as we are at 45 seconds of round 3. A right hand on the butt.
Because of the inactivity, I would make David Haye work hard every round. That's what Chisora should attempt to do. Just make him work.
Here comes Chisora, overhand right. That time he scored. And now
what is
Chisora
Pabon doing?
hook.
Why does Pabon keep stepping in like that?
He said he hit him behind the head. And then the round was called over. It was like a warning was given. I'm not sure if there were still seconds remaining. We saw on our clock there was less than 10 seconds to go.
10 seconds at least.
Anyway, the 3rd round is in the books. This was getting eventful at the end, too.
Oh, Haye hit him with a nice right hand. I guess Pabon thought the round is over. He's stepping in. We didn't hear the bell. We didn't even hear the clap to say there was 10 seconds left.
And you can see, look outside the ring. One of the ringside judges or officials is holding his hands up. What are you doing?
Maybe in Luxembourg they can't count to 3 minutes.
Here's the left hook thrown by Chisora. That kind of got David Haye's attention.
And if you had a little more time, it might have gotten more attention. Here are the numbers for the 3rd round. Better showing by Chisora.
2 minutes, 10 seconds, seconds out, round 4.
10 rounds for this fight. We're heading to the 4th. This is a heavyweight grudge match. David Haymaker Haye and Dereck Del Boy Chisora. Let's go to Dan Rayfield's scorecard.
Well, I think, Bruce, it's fairly obvious the activity level and the fact that some of the punches are landing. David's been landing them very pinpoint. 3 rounds to nothing. The right hand's working nicely. The jab is working nicely. He's been on the attack. He's done well with his movement. His defense has been sound. I think right now we got a 3-0 shutout in favor of David Haye. And Del Boy's got to get busy. can tell he wants that overhand right bad. He just hasn't been able to land it cleanly.
Well, that right hand won't come unless he throws that jab. I mean, Chisora, he's right there. He's right there. But he just waits.
And that Haye left hand is ever present, but now he gets tagged pretty good by Del Moy. A good combination for Chisora. Haye gets back to work, throws the jab. Smart idea.
Unless Chisora was hurt by one punch, I don't know why he backed away. He should have stayed aggressive.
There's that jab. He got a couple through there.
He's just covering up right now, Chisora, for probably the last 20 seconds. There's some shots, but he just stood there covered up and let Haye pick him apart with jabs and landing shots. Judges are going to see that when a man's covering up and the other guy's throwing and landing shots. Very obvious who's winning the round.
I thought Chisora's left hook got through there. Haye lands a left hand.
That was a very, very sharp punch from Haye.
You know, I look at Chisora and his style. His style, he has to be very aggressive, letting both hands go to work. And he has a great jab, by the way. Good, strong, stiff jab.
He really steps into it.
But he should continue to use that.
It's like he's been loading up the whole fight, looking for the right, though.
Because that jab disturbs the rhythm of David Haye.
I think Chisora is having probably his best round of the fight so far. Not sure it's enough to necessarily win it, but he has, the last probably minute or so, really picked up the pace and landed some good shots.
30 seconds to go in round 4. Now Haye lands a 3-punch combination. Back to the jab. Haye's giving away 37 pounds, but he's using it. He's using his strength to his advantage in that corner, just tying him up, playing smart. And you know, Haye finishes almost every round with a flurry.
He landed 5 punches in a row at the end of that round, and Del Boy threw nothing back.
And he wins that round. You see David Haye is blowing wind. I mean, he's really tired. Beautiful right uppercut by David Haye. Hands up. Right hand. And for Chisora, he has to, wow, what an incredible right uppercut by David Haye. That kind of rocked Chisora. Chisora punches a roundhouse more so. And that's one of the reasons, if you'll stay aggressive, stay inside. Keep your man at bay.
So he's trying to catch him on the side of the head, and maybe an equilibrium shot that might possibly make Haye lose his balance and put him down. Hasn't worked so far. And
that last right hand we saw was almost a chopping right instead of that shot that Haye threw that was on the button that really landed as we go to the 5th round. Bruce Beck, Dan Rayfield, Sugar Ray Leonard. We're heading to the 5th. Here's the numbers through the fight in terms of total punches. 211 punches thrown by Haye. What a change from his last fight against Klitschko. His percentage is low, but his busyness, there's that jab ever present.
That scores a few punches every now and then. Just throw the jabs. Keep your man at bay. Keep him off balance. And that's what the jab is for, to keep your man off balance and also to get you closer to your opponent.
It's almost like Luis Pabon just wants to have a conversation with these two guys in the middle of the fight. I've never seen a referee so disruptive in my life.
A wild right hand missed badly by Chisora as he chased Haye around, but didn't really make any noise there. Oh, nice combination by Haye. He got out of trouble. The right hand was ever present.
That was a great move. 2-punch combination, slide away. He could do that all night long, the way that Chisora has been trying to just basically follow him around.
I love that right hand thrown by David Haye. David is really relaxing the ring. He's taking his time.
This is the talented David Haye that we have seen in the past that we just had not seen against Klitschko, or even, frankly, in some other fights he's had in the heavyweight division. But this guy looks fast. He looks very, very sharp, especially when you consider the fact he's off more than a year.
And he's very relaxed, Dan. But also, I see that David is really blowing for some oxygen here. But he's very relaxed there. I'm very impressed with the way he's fighting.
Again, Del Boy putting the pressure on with his approach, but not throwing punches. There's a combination. Missed wildly with the right. He's moving well with sneakers, isn't he?
And again, I'm still curious why he wore sneakers. It may be the rain, like you stated earlier. It may be the rain.
He starts everything with the jab and lands clean.
Right hand by Haye, and down goes Chisora.
That was a tremendous shot.
Chisora is up. Still 24 seconds to go in the round.
He's not there. He doesn't seem to be stable here.
Right hand uppercut by Haye.
Haye needs to get him out.
Finish him.
Get him out of there right now.
Another right hand by Haye. Down goes Chisora. I don't know if he can get up. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. That is it. He waved it off Luis Pabon, and David Haye scores the spectacular knockout.
Well, David Haye, he talked the talk for this fight. Finally, he walked the walk. That was an outstanding performance from David Haye. That's the David Haye that we liked as a cruiserweight champion. That's the David Haye that we had high hopes for as a heavyweight. And David Haye, as they say in England, he just done the business.
Well, Klitschko didn't knock out Chisora, and I'm talking about Vitali, but David Haye did. And he had him on the ropes there, Ray, not on the ropes, but on the ropes per se, and he finished him.
Well, David was very impressive because he seemed to be a little winded, but he put his punches together. He took his time, and the punches came about. Great win for David Haye.
More focused fighter.
More focused, exactly. More focused fighters than David Haye. Very impressive.
I'll say this about that fight. The two guys, they talked it up so well. They brought us a solid fight. I mean, I know Chisora, he didn't do a lot in the fight, but he was there pressing the action. He made it exciting. David Haye obviously landing a lot of punches, throwing a lot of punches, made it exciting. That's a good heavyweight fight. And it shows you once again, put the Klitschkos aside, match up the contenders that are below them, and you can make a number of exciting heavyweight fights in this division.
In that round, he threw 20 power punches. He landed 17. So, Ray, the rush just kind of disappeared as the fight went on, especially in that round.
Well, you can see that David Haye was just taking full control. He took his time. Like, again, I said, I can't overstate it, but he was a little winded, which made him a better puncher, a better fighter.
You know, one thing about that also, that it makes it even more impressive, is because Chisora comes into the fight with such an outstanding reputation for having such an excellent chin. Here you see the replay.
Well, this is all led up to the stoppage. Throwing punches, an overhand right.
I think that left hook he got in there just before the knockdown did some damage also. It maybe blinded him
without question, Dan. You're absolutely right. That left hook, it was really the bread and butter of this incredible stoppage. That looping right hand.
When you think about the fact that Vitali Klitschko has one of the highest knockout percentages in the history of heavyweight boxing, and he landed a lot. Granted, he had one arm in that fight because of the injury, but he still had the other arm, and he could not put Chisora on the mat, much less do a lot of significant damage.
Look at that right hand.
A great right hand. David Haye put him down twice and got a clean stoppage.
What you got to be impressed about is David put his punches together. There are combinations here. He's not throwing one punch. He's throwing 2, 3, 4, 5 punch combinations.
And it was 3 right hands in that sequence and a pretty good left hook to boot. I mean, this is a textbook combination.
Caught him on the way down, which proves
that's sort of icing on the cake. Right?
Icing on the cake, without question.
And you can see Chisora
What a
going
tremendous
down,
replay.
and somehow he got up.
That was a great replay. You need to look on his face.
And this is some respect that we haven't seen.
Nobody's glassing anybody. Nobody's threatening to shoot anybody.
That's beautiful. That is really beautiful. I mean, mutual respect. These guys talk trash, and I'm sure they meant it. But look here. That's class.
I mean, the odds were 5-1 that they wouldn't shake in the press conference afterwards. Here they were hugging in the ring.
And I bet in the British, you can in Britain, in the British bookmakers, you can bet on whether they would shake. You can bet on anything.
You can do all that stuff.
Good sportsmanship there. Del Boy getting a hug from Adam Booth, the trainer and manager for David Haye.
I think Del
who
Boy
did his own trash talk in this build-up
and
as
he
well.
got glassed himself. I think that you'll see afterwards that Chisora will just say that he was beat tonight right from the get-go by a more focused, a more polished, a more busy David Haye. Here's Michael Buffer.
This contest comes to an end at 2 minutes, 59 seconds, round number 5. The winner by knockout victory, and now the WBA International Heavyweight Champion, David Haymaker Haye.
Here are some numbers for this fight, and you can see 63 punches by David Haye landed and 51 power punches. He actually, Ray, was more effective with his power punches than his jabs. I mean, I would think that, you know, as the fight went on, his efficiency went up greatly.
He was very impressive. Once he settled down, which he had to because I think he was blowing wind, but his punches were very effective. Combinations. Great performance by David Haye.
So David Haye wins the heavyweight grudge match. He also captures the WBO and WBA International Heavyweight Championship. Again, that's a belt that you may not even know of here in the U.S., but these are belts that are parts of organizations. And for Haye, I don't think it's about anything regarding a belt. It's about getting the respect, getting the win, and getting back into the heavyweight division. And remember, he's only 31. Ray retired 5 times. I'm 7?
Yeah, 10. Who's counting?